start with the lovely Jo, who's got a gorgeous, gorgeous treat for us, haven't you, Jo?
I have. Yes.
Here we go.
What are you cooking, Jo?
I'm going to cook a vanilla layer cake, and we're going to fill it with jam and some buttercream, and then we're going to decorate it for Easter.
Fantastic. Amazing. Now, this is also quite an easy recipe.
Really
everything goes in at the same time, doesn't it?
All goes in at the same time. Yep.
What are the key ingredients, Jo?
I've got some softened margarine, some caster sugar, some self-raising flour, some vanilla, some free-range eggs, and some baking powder.
Great. So, sugar first?
Let's start with butter.
Sugar.
I'm always, margarine.
and now you're using margarine, and you were saying earlier that you bake, when you're doing your cakes, you always use margarine, you don't use butter.
But not for pastry, always for cakes.
Butter for pastry.
It gives it a really nice lift, gives cakes a really nice lift, but for pastry, I prefer butter.
And is that just something that you've come to work out over time, Jo?
It is, and also Mary told us about that.
If Mary Berry said whatever she says, she's the queen. She knows everything.
She really is.
She really does.
So I'm just going to pop everything in, and we've got 4 eggs, and then I stick in an extra egg yolk because when I was doing some meringues once, and I made a vanilla cake as well. I found that if you put an extra yolk in, it gives it a really lovely flavour.
Okay, so just adds an extra bit of richness.
Flavour, yeah.
Lovely. And this is the difference, I suppose, between this vanilla cake and a Victoria sponge.
Yes.
Is that when you're doing a Victoria sponge, you do cream, the eggs, the butter and the sugar together.
Yes.
And once you've done that, then you add a bit of flour and then an egg.
Yeah.
And you carry on like that.
This is you just all together.
Bung it all in. So it's great to make with your kids because
they would be really good. Yeah. And also you could use this to make fairy cakes as well.
Oh, okay.
So, the same mixture, but just bung it all in and give it a good whisk. With these machines, though, try not to over-whisk it because that can make the sponge really heavy. So you just want to wait till it's nice and light and fluffy. Okay. And as long as the margarine is sort of softened to begin with,
it won't take long.
It won't take too long.
And so if you didn't have one of these machines, you can just use
by hand with a wooden spoon
or the 2 little whisks mixers, electric mixers. Okay,
so we're nearly there.
I mean, really is that simple.
It's really, really quick.
Is that on? Right. So that's you literally that's all it is, and it's done.
If you just see it, so you just want to get rid of all the lumps and bumps. So just a nice soft light mixture, really.
The thing that I never understood as a child was that you've made the perfect foodstuff there. There is nothing more delicious than cake mix, is there? And yet you're going to go and ruin it by putting it in the cooker and cooking up. As a child, this is what I thought, because it's just everything you want. Eggs and sugar.
Yeah, I always remember my auntie used to always bake, and I used to always want to just stand next to her and lick the bowl.
That's why my daughter loves baking. It's nothing to do with the actual cake. It's to do with the bowl and the spoon afterwards.
Kids do love baking and just spending time in the kitchen with you, don't they, though?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
My little grandson calls me Nanny Cake. And he
Nanny
comes
Cake?
In, Nanny Cake. And he comes in, he's like, Nanny Cake! But he wants to bake cakes with me.
It's just delicious. Can we just leave it like that and eat it like that?
Just eat the raw mixture.
No, I want this. I want this cake. Right, come on.
I used to fight with my brother and sister about who was going to get the spoon.
Did you?
And I've just got my eye on it now. That's what I'm looking at.
There might be a little cake.
Mine really don't like these silicone because you can get every bit off of them and out of the bowl, and they're like, oh, that's not fair. Go back to using the old spoons. So, if we just give them a big
Don't go too far.
To get tap them to get the air out.
To get the air out, and then they rise up nice and evenly. And we're going to pop them into a 180. Hopefully that's slightly a bit too hot.
Bit too high. Turn it down a bit. That's 180. Good shot.
That's perfect. And that's about 20 to 22 minutes in there.
Good stuff. OK, we're going to get you to pause just for a moment. That's mine. Stop it.
After the break, how to make the perfect filling for your sponge. And a really pretty idea for decorating your finished cake.
And we're going to be sitting down for tea and cake with our guests, Dr. Christian, Flavia, Russell Grant and Michaela as well. Please can I have some? See you in a bit. Thank you. Welcome back to What's Cooking from the Sainsbury's Kitchen. We're on. Russell Grant, Flavia, Dr. Christian, Michaela are all here ready for our cake.
Yes, and I'm in the kitchen with Great British Bake Off winner, Jo. Now, before the break, we made the cake.
We did.
Put it in the oven, and we've now got 2 cakes that have already cooled.
Yeah, they need to be cooled. And what we do is we look at them and see which is the least pretty.
Okay.
And that's going to be the bottom, and just turn it upside down.
They're both pretty good.
They are very pretty, aren't they? So we just push that down.
Okay.
I never like cutting any off because I feel like you're
It's
wasting
a waste.
something.
But you can, if you want to be really professional.
You can use
cut it off
sort of serrated knife, like a bread knife, really.
Yeah,
and that gives
then
you
just cut off that bottom
bit,
bit, and throw that at the children or
yes,
dogs or something.
Throw it at the children.
No, I always eat it.
Oh, I see for them to eat. Rather than
not
just
just chuck it.
not just throw it like a frizz.
have that. That's how they're fed in your house.
And you've got,
I've got some
the only
buttercream.
way. So you've got some buttercream
I
icing
have.
here.
And with buttercream, I
Good.
always use double the icing sugar to unsalted softened butter. You want it really soft. And to
Okay.
get it really lovely and white, if you whip the butter up first, you get that really nice white-looking buttercream.
Yes, and then you add your sugar.
Yeah, and then you add
whip
the
it
sugar
again.
and then whip it again. And then I always add 2 tablespoons of boiling hot water, and that
Okay.
gives you a nice sheen to it as well.
So as well as loosening it a bit, you get that lovely
Glossy,
bit of a shine, bit of gloss on your icing.
And I'm just going to use a round nozzle.
Okay, and you just pipe
All
it
I'm
in.
going to do is just pipe some.
Oh, now this is where you learn just lovely little tips.
This gives you a really pretty look at the edge.
Because of course, if you didn't have a piping bag, you could just
Snip the bottom of a disposable bag even works.
just like a freezer bag.
Yeah.
And use that. But you could just, if you wanted to,
Palette knife.
you know, with your palette knife, spread it on.
Yeah.
But you're going to make it beautiful, which is why you won British Bake Off.
Well, I'm not the best at decorating, to be honest.
I don't believe you've also got lovely things here to decorate with. So you put this on.
We just pop some little circles.
Yeah.
Well, little blobs, I suppose they
Yeah.
are, aren't they? And then I'm going to put some jam into the middle.
Okay. Strawberry jam?
Yeah, or raspberry, whatever. Or you could even use a lemon curd if you like, you know, a more
lovely
zesty flavour.
Yeah.
But just make sure you use a nice amount.
Or some
Kind of
chocolate, or chocolate spread.
Yeah, or chocolate ganache is going to...
Oh, chocolate ganache.
Are you guys fans of baking? Does anyone do any
But
baking?
that's,
Yeah, I do.
You bake? What's your baking?
Quiche.
Quiche.
I like a quiche. I like it, but I like it very cheesy because a lot of the shop bought quiches aren't very cheesy. But I tell you what, I've been having great trouble with getting a decent.
Soggy bottom.
No, I've got one of them. That came naturally. Hot cross buns. They're not spicy enough these days.
Interesting. Well, we're going to do some of those this week, I think, aren't we?
I think we are. Well, if we're not, we were going to bring some in, weren't we? We were
Well,
thinking
make
that
sure you
I'm
go to
desperate
the
to
right
make.
place.
But you want spicy,
No, do you know
spicy.
what? No, I was going to try and make. I've never made hot cross buns. I've made ice buns, but not hot cross buns. So I thought I might set myself a challenge this week.
I'll come in and
make it.
taste them.
Oh,
Brilliant.
do.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So if you like loads of buttercream, you can put some more in the middle. But if some
Okay.
people find it too rich, so
Yeah.
then you can just have it, you know, with just... So you've got the little gems, and then it's almost like
Looks
a crown.
so pretty. You don't really want to put the hat. Its hat on,
so
do
then
you?
we have to put the lid on. But you still get that, you know, that really lovely look.
Gorgeous, Joe.
And then I've got some more buttercream here. You want it a bit more slacker than the one that you're going to use for this, because I'm going to just palette knife that
so
on.
would you add extra water?
Just
to
a little
loosen it
drop
up
of
a bit
water
more?
to loosen it up, yeah. And then
Love that. Looks
just
very good. Looking at the presentation of that, Christian, it reminds me that your shirts, you've become notorious for your shirts, not least on the shirt. I mean, this is a relatively tame
It
number.
is relatively tame today, yeah.
compared to some of them. We've got one of them that you.
take this foil?
This is.
no, we need foils.
I mean, that's
Okay.
I've got toothpaste like that shirt. Have you ever been offered your own line of shirts?
They have to be
It's
untreated,
just the
and
thing
then you
that
just foil
obviously
the
men don't really have much excitement when it comes to clothes. It's shirts or nothing,
Yes.
particularly if you're doctoring, you know. So I thought, well, I'm just going to look for the loudest shirt I can possibly find. And some of them, admittedly, when they're in the packet and you're going, can I, dare I? I'm going to dare. And they look all right on telly, I think.
And the 2-button thing is important as well,
That's important.
because
It's just what I've done. It's a slight OCD thing, but you know, it's sort of, you have little habits, don't you, and
Yeah.
rituals that you do. So that's another thing. I think today are we doing it? Yeah, we're
yes,
doing
of
it today,
course,
so-
everybody loves the
Very
shirt.
nice. Now, Joe, you've got a really, really lovely idea here to make it really pretty. You're using roses, fresh flowers are lovely. And I just said to Joe, so they've got foil on, and she said, yes, it's a reason that they've got foil on.
Yeah, because you don't want any of the sort of flower
Greenery.
Yes, going into the cake. So if you cover them with foil and just try using untreated flowers.
Okay.
So,
And give them a wash. Give the
Yeah.
stems a good wash first.
and then just pop the foil onto them.
Okay.
So once you've got this, you know, looking pretty, if you just wipe off your palette
Okay.
and then drag it across, so you just get
So you get little swirls.
little swirls going along the
Oh,
top.
I love that.
I mean, I'm not the greatest at getting it to go perfect on the top, so you're better
I
off
was just
going
thinking that
great, I
actually,
was gonna
Joe.
say.
That looks a bit rubbish.
It looks amazing.
Thank you, Ben.
While Joe finishes that off, shall we have a look
So
at
we're
some
just
pictures
gonna
that you guys have been
push that
sending us in
into
of your lunchtime pictures. This is Dan Janine. He's given Sophie Michelle sea bass and pea puree rest. That looks good, doesn't it? Well done, Dan.
Great.
Ian Samuels has made some jerk chicken, rice and peas, all for under £5, brought from the supermarket.
He's made that. Very impressive.
Very
Looks
impressive.
lovely.
We've got little Jack, who's been wearing his Easter bonnet. Easter bonnet from Jack. And Amy has sent us a picture in. This is of Josh and Adele. They watch the show religiously. They've just finished their 12,000-word dissertations. And they're giving us a kiss. What a way to celebrate. Well done,
Way
guys.
to celebrate.
Keep tweeting them in at What's Cooking TV and emailing us what'scooking@channel4.com.
Here you go, look at this.
Yellow roses mean friendship, by the way.
That.
Yeah,
Do
yellow
they?
roses are for friendship.
So,
Yeah.
Joe, here's your beautiful Easter cake, Easter friendship cake,
Yes.
we could call
So
it.
It'd be perfect.
There you have it,
Sunday.
very simple vanilla cake with buttercream filling. Should we take it over?
Bring it over.
Wow.
Michaela, would you like to pour some tea?
Oh, good, we've got
so
a teapot. I'm really happy about that.
Oh, that
Make it out of the way slowly and you can try
There we
and
go, Joe.
slice.
Do you want to be mum?
Yeah, I should
Seeing
be
as you
mum.
made that beautiful cake.
Father, are you quite strict about what you eat? Bearing
No,
in
not
mind
at all.
Are you really not?
Not really, no. No, I enjoy my cakes and chocolate chip muffins and my...
If you knew when we did Strictly, there's me trying to be very strict with my diet, and this woman goes
I
around
enjoy
super and
food.
just gets hot noodles, cereals, jelly babies, all these things. And
I do like my food.
Yeah, but you just dance it off.
she
don't
does.
you?
Yeah.
Look at that
I need the
figure.
energy.
I mean, how much dancing are you doing a day? I mean, even now, because, your show's on in Woking tonight, is that
Yeah,
right?
yes, this week we're in Woking Midnight Tango. We do 8 shows a week.
that's
and
with
it's-
Vincent, isn't it?
Yeah, it's with Vincent and the cast. So it's very full on. It's a lot of energy.
Weren't you in Midnight Tango for a little bit?
I was.
Yeah.
I did the West End run.
Of course you did.
That's
Yes.
right. And then, but I've got a lot of other things that I'm doing. Well, Zalza comes out April the 12th.
Yes, I was going to say, when does it come out?
April the 12th,
Okay.
that comes out, so everyone's going to be doing rumba arms.
We will
Samba
While
hip.
eating cake.
Samba hip.
We're all going to have to do a lot of rumba arms that we're
Look,
with
look, we
Vincent.
saved your
slice
bacon
of
here,
cake.
Shepherd.
Is that for me?
Yes.
Oh, Russell, you shouldn't have.
No, that's for your mum. No, it's not. It's for your wife. No, your boy's mum. Mrs. S.
Mrs. S, she'll be delighted. That you really have. Thanks very much, Ego.
Popped over to Sainsbury's and got 'em.
That's amazing.
I think Annie will be very pleased with them.
I'm on to the buttercream.
You've been
Right.
shown, haven't you, Shepherd?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's taste this
Now then,
cake.
how's the cake?
Oh, the
Try
buttercream
it.
is
I'm
fabulous.
going to get a bit of buttercream as well.
What do you think, Michaela?
Oh my God.
Haven't quite got there yet. Hang on.
Joe, it's beautiful.
That is
That
really
vanilla as well. It's
spectacular.
delicious
moist.
on
Wow, very good.
I've been told by my doctor here that even though I'm awaiting his diabetes test, I can have some. 'Cause it's not the sugar that causes the problem, Christian tells me.
Sugar doesn't
you
give
go.
you diabetes. So.
There you go. That's what you needed to know. It's a good thing we brought him on. You can have some more as well. Just get
Just
stuck
eat the
in.
buttercream.
It's that buttercream.
It's delicious. I'll give it the bowl.
All right, well, we carry on devouring this. Unfortunately, that's all we've got time for today. Don't forget, you can get all the details of Joe and Michaela's recipes on the scrapbook, channel4.com/What's Cooking. Tomorrow we're here with Birds with Feathers, Leslie Joseph, Made in Chelsea's Ollie Locke, and Radio 1's Gemma Kearney. We'll be right here at the same time, 12:35. Don't forget, 12th of April for Zalza.
Yeah, lovely.
And Dr. Christian's all over Channel 4 tonight as well. Thank you guys for coming in. It's been lovely to see you.
tomorrow.
Bye-bye, see you tomorrow.
Bye.